Hey YouTube! So, I want to apologize for being late. I've made a weekly in like a week and a half, or a little more than that. I think I made my last one on like Saturday. Like I said, I got a job, so I've been working nights, and I only have like a few hours between when I get up and when I go to work, so, I can make these when I have my days off, but I also don't have, I'm not getting suggestions for things, so I can't think of things to do. And so when I have free time, I'm like, what should I make my weeklies on? And actually, this one's kind of short because I couldn't think of a lot of stuff. But I got two things for you. First thing is, I keep getting questions about TruBore valves and like how to take them apart and stuff. And so I've never done it, and I'm not feeling particularly brave since they're not just straight up rotors. I'm really familiar with those. And I'm pretty sure they're really similar in a lot of ways, and they're probably not too difficult to take apart. But I asked the guy who I bought these from, and he was just like, "Don't take them apart. Just put oil in them, and they'll stay fine. And if they, get damaged, or if they're really slow and you really can't fix them, then send them to Shires." So my advice is oil them. That's pretty much it. I put oil down this side of the gooseneck, so going this way, and I have a particular way to do it. I'll put oil down and I'll work the valves, and then I'll focus on one valve, and I'll look down the gooseneck. I have the tuning slide off and the slide off, of course, and you can see when the valve is like halfway engaged, so you can like see the edge of the valve. And I kind of leave that exposed, and then I drizzle more oil in so it gets on the actual valve itself and not just in the valve, because that's not really doing you any good. And so I do that to both of them, and then I flip it over and I do the same thing this way. So I make sure it's actually getting oil on the valve surfaces that are moving against things, and not just in the valves, because that just means it's in your tuning slides and stuff. And also get the spindles. So obviously here, there's like a little gap you can kind of see. Always pour some oil down that. And of course on the linkages and whatnot, that's standard fare for any kind of valve. So yeah, I'm sure you can take them apart. I've had, actually, my very first horn that I owned, my Holton, I took the valves apart and cleaned them out, and they worked better. I think they were faster afterwards, but also they worked worse in some ways because they made way more noise, and I never got them to act the same afterwards. So, your mileage may vary. If they were rotors, I would take them apart in half a second, but these are a little bit different, so don't mess with them too much. I'm loving my new lead pipe. Holy crap, it is the best thing ever. From what I've heard from Shires guys, the guys who play really good players who play Shires basses, the brass arc pipes are not as good as Shires pipes, but since mine has a Bach bell, which makes it a very different instrument, this pipe works really well, and it makes a huge difference, and I can't see myself going back to Shires lead pipes for any reason. I'll probably write a review on Trombone forum. I may link it on YouTube, but I don't know. It's seriously great. I'm playing with my quartet tonight, and we had rehearsal yesterday, and I felt like I was playing a completely new instrument in the group. It was ridiculous. I don't know. I'm just blown away at how good it is and how much of a difference it made. So anyway, that's my lead pipe. My second thing today is I have a good exercise. Like I said, I got a job, so I don't have as much time to practice. Before I got the job, I've been practicing like 4 or 5 hours a day, do my warm-up, and then just work on rep for so long. And that just keeps you in shape. Just playing a lot keeps you in really good shape. And I'm really scared of getting out of shape by working a lot and not having as much time to practice. I maybe have, if I maximize my time, I have like maybe an hour and a half a day to just play, and then I gotta go off to work. And I get back at like midnight, or after midnight, so I don't, I can't come back and play after midnight. I can maybe with a practice mute, but it's still kind of loud if you play loudly through it, and I don't know, it's not as good for you. I've spent some serious time just on the practice mute playing late, and when I come off of it, I'd play worse. So I wouldn't recommend using it full time. So I've been really focusing on exercises and things other than rep. I'm also playing that, but also exercises that really kind of stress me so I can maintain my chops. Because if I just play my routine every day, yeah, that's good, but maybe it's not hard enough for me to keep getting better with less practice time. So I went back to this Vernon exercise that's in his book. I should have looked up what page it was on. I can't remember now. But I used this when I first got the book 2 years ago, and playing it, I think I played it for like a few weeks, and it made me a better player like almost instantly. So it's really simple. Let's see, what does it start with? It starts with return to do. And that's a singing term. I don't know what he calls it, but it's just a scale, but broken up with the do at the bottom. I'm going to do it in G today because that's just what I'm thinking. So that's the first part. You do scale, return to do at forte. I think it's just written forte. And I have to play just a little louder than that, just kind of big attacks. It's actually really hard to do. You heard I flubbed like one of the E's or something like that. Before, when I first started these, I would have flubbed like every single note. Seriously. So hard. Plus, it gets you really familiar with the scales. A lot of times I'll be like, wait, what's the next note? Oh no! And I'll play like the same one twice, or I'll play something out of the scale, just because you're not used to like going back to do every time. So that's the first part, and you do it going up, and then you do it coming back down. You leave out the top note the second time. Second part is a scale at like pianissimo, just super quiet, just one octave. Very simple, but very legato. Make it the best sound you can possibly make, like you always do. Yeah, just make it really good. And of course, these are all good with metronome. I'm just not using one for the purposes of this video. And the next part is an arpeggio, 2 octaves, also very quiet and also legato. It's pretty simple. It gets harder because this goes all the way from low F below the staff, so just 2 half steps below where I started, all the way to F above that, so F in the staff. So you'd be playing arpeggio from F in the staff to double F and back down. It gets pretty high, but it's great. So then you do the arpeggio, and the last part is fundamentals. You play the octave below what you started, and then you play the first note, and then you play the octave below again, as loud as you can. Bad start on the G. Pedal G is not my favorite note. That's my favorite part, of course. Boom! Playing loud. You can even see the waveform. Woo! That G is loud. And that's it. You just do that, starting on this F. Etc. And you'll play that entire series, all 4 of those things I just said, all the way up, going up chromatically. Of course, you don't have to go up. You can go down or start higher and go down. All the way up to this. See, I already forgot notes. And so you have a whole octave to work in. And if you do this entire exercise, it'll take you probably more than an hour just to get through all those. And I split these up into 2 days. I do like a fifth one day and then the rest the next day or something like that. But it is really good. It is hard because you're playing low, you're playing high, you're playing soft, you're playing loud, you're playing legato, you're playing articulations. And this is good. It works on your scales. It works on everything. So, if you need an exercise to keep yourself in shape, or if you want to get in shape, that's a really good one. And of course, you know, keep it musical, keep it great sounding. You know, don't go too far out of your comfort zone with. Well, I shouldn't really say that. Forget I said that. You know, like play louder than you think you should, but keep it good sounding, and that'll make your louds better and your softs softer, etc., etc. So yeah, there you go, YouTube. I'll see you guys sometime next week. We'll see when I get a day off. Give me suggestions, and I'll make more videos. And I'll see you guys.